Hey guys, Jim from Red Rock here. I've got a '07 JK, which you can kind of see up there. I'm going to do a quick underview of it. It's freezing outside. I'm waiting for my truck to warm up. So give you a quick walkthrough under the chassis. See our motor mounts, trans lines, how we run everything. I just got done mocking the exhaust up last night. So before I pull it all down, I figured I'd shoot you a quick video and you guys get an idea what the under chassis looks like and how easy these things can be with the right components and the right parts and a little bit of instruction. So here we go. All right. Starting in the front here. I'll start at the very front. We'll just start with the radiator and thus trans cooler and then work our way back. Can't see it from this angle, but the lower radiator hose is stock. It's a stock radiator, stock lower radiator hose, just with our adjustable water neck on it, and then a cut up stock lower hose. Works just fine. The stock radiator worked just fine on a stock LS, maybe slightly cammed, nothing crazy, like a stage 2 maybe at the most. You'd be all right with a stock radiator. At the bottom of the stock AC condenser is a stock auto trans cooler. We chop those lines, put an AN adapter in there, and then run our AN lines to and from the transmission, to and from the radiator trans cooler up in front. So hot line comes from the transmission, goes over to the stock cooler, runs through the stock cooler, then loops its way back out to the front. As you can see it turning and going up to the front to the external trans cooler, and then back from the external trans cooler up into the 4L60 ports. We have AN adapters on the 4L60 to make things super simple, and away she goes. Up here also, our high pressure truck power steering line. So it comes off the back of the pump there, screws right into the stock pump, no adapters, that's a fitting on the line. Goes down, hits the chassis tube, we zip tie it there. The pipe, it's got a 180 on that, crimped 180, turn it around, shoot it up, which you can see it going up there. Goes to the top of the gearbox, as they say, bada boom, bada bing, done, right? Low pressure port, you gotta tweak that a little bit. That is not where it comes out of that box factory. As far as this is concerned, you gotta bend it a little bit this way and then down a little bit to get it to fit right in there, but she just sneaks right around the gearbox once you get a little bend in her. You gotta be real careful when you bend them. There's a lot of tricks to bending them, i.e. put a set of vice grips on the tube and then bend it, that way it doesn't crush. So I'm not gonna get into all that, but basically the short version is correctly bend your power steering return line so it clears that gearbox and you are off and running. There is driver's side mount, it's the long mount, and then the LS3 cast manifolds, and you can see how much space is here on the driver's side. It's great. And then short side motor mount with the long section goes to the rear. Again, the long section goes to the rear on that one. You can see that's a factory AC compressor, truck AC compressor. Way up there in the corner, you can see where I ground out a little bit of the extra cast so there's some clearance around the motor mount. And then on the front side, I don't know if you can see it or not, I grind the lip off the top on the front edge of the motor mount, the stock front edge. Take about, I don't know, 1/4 inch off it, 3/8 off it. And that gives it all the clearance it needs. And then my ground cable to the block, to the frame. Make sure you clean the frame. The only thing you have to worry about on these is upper control arm clearance to AC mount. This Jeep only has a 2.5 inch lift kit on. I recommend at least a 3, if not a 4 inch kit. At the bare minimum, if you have a lower kit or even a bigger kit, just make sure that your bump stops are properly set so that you don't have any contact between this upper control arm tower and the bottom of your AC mount. Make sure your trans lines are to the side, tucked up against the block. I'm gonna hang these up, they're not done, but these will hang up here on a bracket, go from there. As well as this mount's gonna move to the passenger side when the axle swings up. So it's gonna go to the right. Again, building the exhaust, that is what it is. All a hot rod kit, little manual kits. Then our trans mount, trans plate, isolator, spacers, nuts, hardware. This thing bolts down to the cross member and then we come back and weld it after everything's set. yes, it's got a little fluid on it. I had the transpan down twice in this thing. We put a fresh filter in it, but then I wanted to make sure. I heard a click when I put it back up, and I want to make sure I didn't clip any of the valves, solenoids, or wires or anything like that. So I took it back down again. So better safe than sorry. So again, drop-in motor mounts, this cross member adapter plate, and your LS drive line is inside your JK in a matter of, I don't know, we can do it in about 15 minutes to get it just mocked in. So you figure you should be 30 minutes, give or take, get it to drop in the first time, maybe an hour if messing with the brackets and so on and so forth, figure out what you have to cut. 241C transfer case. I don't have my cable shifter bracket in yet from the plasma guy. Got that mocked up. Hopefully I'll have that done the next day or two. Super short slip yoke eliminator kit. Got to put a VSS in there still, but that's a 241C with the super short SYE kit on it. So we get a lot of drive shaft. You see my drive line is pretty darn centered in the tunnel. See, going back, keep going back, exhaust. Oh, well, you know what? I skipped the fuel line. Let's see. Fuel line. There's fuel line. This is my fuel line kit. Goes up. I've got high temp silicone fiberglass reinforced heat sleeve on that, especially where it crosses over the exhaust pipe. This here is your factory little retaining stud for your sound ender, your heat insulation. I take the little plastic clip off it, I put a P-clamp on it, I screw a 6mm by 1 nut on that, and that holds everything up. We're not doing any evap, so the evap line is clipped and sealed. And again, my fuel line clips right into the stock there and then runs up and clips in the back of the LS. All right, exhaust, 2-to-1, V-bands, Dynamax muffler. I think this is a 6-inch round, 18-inch long or 20-inch long Dynamax. I'll get a part number on that later, but this one fits right up in there real nice. Yeah, look at that. I have to fill that. Built the exhaust out the back, jogs underneath the sway bar, and boom, out the back end. Back here too, evap NLVD box, purge box, whatever you want to call it, charcoal canister, whatever. The evap port here, this I take out and we glue the valve open in there so that this is a free-flowing valve. So this has crank fuel tank ventilation all the time. All the time, fuel's vented. Hanging the exhaust hanging on the frame. And again, my exhaust is done in 3 pieces. I do a driver's side piece, I do the passenger side piece, V-band the two together here, and then a V-band here for the back side. So exhaust is 3 pieces, driver's side, passenger side, and rear if you would. So be it. I have to pull all that down tonight and weld it all up, scuff it all up, primer it, paint it, wrap it. Then, oh yeah, I gotta put O2 sensors in. So I'll put an O2 sensor in right here for the driver's side. And then probably, let's see if I sneak it in up here. If not, I can go back here with it. I just want about the same place. So if I go here, I can tuck it right in here, and then I can tuck it right in here. So they're about the same down the pipe. So, but yeah, there you go. There's a little 8-10 minute overview of the underside of an LS JK swap Jeep. The only thing it's not done down here right now is drive shafts, but you don't do those till you hit the ground and then measure everything out. Yeah, 4-wheel drive bracket. And then this little guy, I'm gonna take this guy off, sandblast this, but sometimes on these, when you use the cheap cables, they like to twist. The cables will twist, and it will continuously pop off of this little nipple there. Just inherent in those cables. They just have an inherent twist in them, and sometimes they just do not want to stay on here. So what you can do, if you get one of those situations where you've got a cable that keeps popping off, grind this out, put a 1/4 bolt through it. Won't ever have that problem again. I slap a little grease on it and snug it up with a lock nut, and away she goes. All right, well, that's enough talking. Hopefully my truck's warmed up now so I can go to the store and get parts. And same thing for you guys. Get on that old interweb, order up some parts from us, get your LS in your Jeep, have some fun. All right, man. This is Jim from Red Rock. I appreciate it. If you need parts, pieces, go to the website, give me a call. We'll get you squared away. Other than that, go build some Jeeps. Have a good one.